All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our recorded session. I hope you are safe and sound together with your families. And welcome to the 21st century skill categories. So basically, we will be talking about yung mga skills that we were able to um, discuss in the past sessions. The life skills, the literacy skills, as well as the learning skills. So, dire, makita na siya na naton, no? You'll be able to see here. Pero it will be a deep dive. So please bear with me. So marami-rami yung slides na makikita ninyo in our session, but I will try my very best to at the very least cover just a fraction or a quarter of our time in this recorded session, because I know that this will be a very cumbersome when we upload this through YouTube. All right, so let's start. So we'll be exploring the concept first, and then we jump off to framework for the 21st century. Titingnan ni Danten yung integrating these skills in the teaching learning process. Napaka-importante niyan. And lastly, yung implications to us educators and to you as pre-service teachers. So what are 21st century skills? Mabilisan. It's a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and character traits that are deemed necessary, okay, in coping with today's world and future careers and workplaces. Thus, it can be applied in all academic subject areas and educational settings throughout a student's life. So as I have said in the previous sessions that we have, 21st century skills are very much important in this present time. Okay? Because hindi lang yung schools yung mangangailangan ng 21st century skills natin, but as well as the industries na pagtatrabahuan natin, a-applyan natin later on. So it's an imperative for us to learn these skills and master these skills. Integrate it in our routine so that mas madali natin siyang magamit, and we could harvest an optimal results from our usage of these skills. Punta natin, ito. This is just a quick rundown. I don't need to read the following slides. So tingnan nyo na lamang, because I think these are the skills that was classified accordingly. So pakitingnan, I will just read the content of the slides, and then we will proceed sa next natin na part. So these include the following. Now, for first group of skills, nandyan yung critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, analysis, interpretation, synthesizing, and information. For number two, research skills and practices, interrogative questioning. So it's all about researching naman. So third, it covers creativity, artistry, yung innate curiosity natin, imagination, how we innovate, and as well as personal expression. So it's on the artistic side naman. Fourth, perseverance, how we redirect ourselves towards our goals, through self-direction, planning, self-discipline, adaptability and initiative. Fifth, how we communicate. It covers oral and written communication, public speaking and presenting, and as well as listening. Next is leadership. How you deal with other people, how you strike collaborations with other people. So nandyan yung leadership, teamwork, collaboration, cooperation, facilitating using virtual spaces. Ang pito, syempre, yung ability natin to utilize ICT. How literate are we when it comes to media and internet? How do we analyze data? How do we interpret data? As well as computer programming. Pangwalo, this is your social justice. Parang, more targeted towards your civics, ethics, and social justice literacy. Pangsyam, it's all about financial. So economic literacy, financial literacy, and entrepreneurism. And number 10, how you adapt with other people, how you connect with other people. Hindi lang dito sa Philippines, but in all other countries. So nandyan yung global awareness, multicultural literacy, and humanitarianism. 11th, nakafocus naman siya sa how do you deal with scientific observations, no? Scientific reasoning, scientific method, and as well as scientific literacy. 12, it's all about ecological knowledge, no? Yung connections mo within the environment, how knowledgeable are you in terms of conservation, and what is ecosystem, no? How do you understand the ecosystem? Third is all about health naman, personal health, community health, public health, and all of those. All right. So tingnan natin yung framework for 21st century learning. This is a very perfect representation of how 21st century learning is in the eyes of teachers, no, on the eyes of educators as well as the learners. So it's a very holistic view of the 21st century teaching and learning kasi nakafocus siya sa 21st century student outcomes. Okay? Tingnan nyo. It's a blend of, specific skills, content knowledge, expertise, and literacies. And kung titingnan mo, there is a support system. Okay, there is a support system embedded in that, no? Para sa ano yung support system? For the students to master the multifaceted, multidimensional abilities that is required of them in the 21st century. Okay? So makikita nyo dyan yung 21st century skills student outcomes. Yan, yung nasa rainbow. At yung support systems that is being represented as a ripples, or as a ripple or as a pool at the bottom. So yung support system mo for the 21st century skills, nandyan yung standards and assessments, hindi mawala yan, hindi mawawala yan. Nandyan yung curriculum and instruction, yung paano tinuturo yung content, professional development, paano nag-upskill yung ating mga teachers, and as well as learning environments. Paano ba sinostructure yung mga learning environments natin. If these four na nasa ibaba, yung support system na yan, should work, then definitely yung mga student outcomes na nasa rainbow dito will definitely be achieved. Tandaan lang natin, first note or first point, yung 21st century skills are grounded sa paniniwala that students must be educated in a more relevant, useful, in-demand, and universally applicable manner. So, this is like a suntok sa buwan, no? Mahirap itong i-achieve, but nevertheless, kung titingnan mo, yan yung benchmark ng mga institutions dito sa Philippines, educational institutions, as well as the DepEd and the public schools as well. Second point, kung titingnan mo, yung mga estudyante, marami na tayong skills na tinuturo. As well as binibigyan natin sila ng opportunity to reflect. Okay? But, nasa sa kanila, yung feeling na kailangan nilang pasanin yung demands ng current job market ngayon. Which is, it's very complex, very competitive, it's knowledge-based, okay? Information age na tayo, so mabilisan yung pag-alis at pagpunta ng data. And lastly, it's a technology-driven society. So if we don't allow our kids to adapt to these changes, or gain skills for these kinds of changes, mahihirapan yung mga learners natin. Okay? So according to the ACTI in 2010, 21st century education daw addresses the whole child or the whole person. Yes naman. That's a fact. Pero in my own opinion lang, no, I don't know if may iba kayong opinion, but in my own opinion, this is very idealistic if ilagay natin siya sa context ng Philippine education. Malayo pa tayo, pero papunta na, no? Papunta na. Another thing is the curriculum should be designed to be interdisciplinary, integrated, and project-based. I cannot highlight it in I cannot highlight it more aggressively na yung curriculum dapat sumasabay siya sa panahon. Okay? It should ride the times. Kung kailangang mag-shift ng content, kailangan mag-adapt ng ating curriculum. Next point, according to Tony Wagner, yung Global Achievement Gap, yung libro niya, in-outline niya dyan yung 7 survival skills. Ano-ano ito? First, critical thinking and problem solving, indispensable. Kailangan meron ka yan. Pangalawa, collaboration across networks and leading by influence. Okay. Third, agility and adaptability. Fourth, initiative and entrepreneurialism. Fifth, effective oral and written communication. Sixth, accessing, analyzing information. And seventh, curiosity and imagination. So lahat ng 7 survival skills na ito, kung titingnan mo, are all interconnected with each other. They are all needed for the 21st century. Kasi, kapag merong absent dyan, definitely, it will be very much difficult for our learners to adapt onto the very challenging, very demanding times sa ngayon. Alright? Okay. Punta tayo dito. The following are the primary skills orchestrated into 21st century. These are attributes that differentiate our students. Sino yung preparado for the complex life and work environment at sino naman yung hindi. Okay? So there is a need to stress, on creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration in preparing learners for the future. Inuulit-ulit yan ni Sir Gab ever since in the past. So, eto, parang nabibuild up na lang tayo doon sa reminder na yun. So, we should not really forget this critical skills. At wag nating palalampasin yung pagkakataon na we can teach the kids. We can teach them these skills. We can enrich them, so that maging ready sila for the next part of their lives. Next, punta tayo sa eto na. Okay? So, etong chart na to, marami-rami to, but I want this na iwan sa inyo, no? I want you to explore on this kasi if I'll discuss and talk about this, aabutin tayo ng siyam-siyam. So, I want you to go through these parts. I think parang 10 plus slides to or more. Titingnan mo, yung first column is the main skill at saka yung sa right column, makikita mo yung mga sub-skills. You don't need to memorize this part of the presentation, but I want you to read through this and try to reflect. If meron ka ba ng mga ganitong skill at yung mga sub-skills, if meron, then definitely that's a plus. Pero if being honest with yourself, sinasabi mo na parang may kulang pa. So, you just need to bookmark it and try to, teach yourself those kinds of skills. Okay, solve problems. For letter B, communication, ang dami niyan. Sa skill pala na communicating clearly, napakaraming sub-skills na kailangan mong tingnan. Okay? So, I'll just flash the slides. So, nandyan yung collaboration, creativity and innovation. Dami niyan, no? Napakadami. Okay. Yan. For the information media and technology skills, okay. One established fact is, hindi lahat ng tao are all information, media, and technology prepared or intelligent. Hindi lahat. Merong mangilan-ngilan pero hindi lahat. So tingnan niyo dito. Okay. People in the 21st century live in a tech and media saturated environment marked by the following. Ito yung mga characteristics ng environment natin ngayon. First point, There's an access to an abundance of information. Yes, that's freely accessed by everyone. Second, rapid changes in tech tools. Hindi tayo makasabay kasi napakabilis. If titingnan ninyo, nag-release ng bagong iPhone 16, I think, nung isang gabi lang. So, ang bilis, di ba? Ang bilis. Third, ability to collaborate and make individual contributions on an unprecedented scale. There will come a time that you really need to collaborate with other people. No, most often kapag sa mga disasters, di ba? Pag may magkaroong public health emergencies, nagkakaroon ng large scale individual contributions tsaka collaboration. Now, how can you consider yourself effective in the 21st century? Simple lang. You must be able to exhibit a range of social, or rather, functional and critical thinking skills related to information, media, and technology. Kasi ito na yung trend ngayon. You cannot escape from this. No? You cannot escape from this. Sabi ko nga before, di ba? Before pandemic, we were forced really to adapt. Ngayon, na naka-adapt na tayo, we need to continuously improve ourselves and all the while maintaining yung adaptation level natin. Diba? We need to improve ourselves in terms of those line of skills so that in the next couple of years or several years from now, we'll be able to go head to head with other with other countries or with other groups of people in terms of being information, media, and tech literate. Okay? Eto, lahat ng to are all connected with information, media, and technology naman. Okay? So, nandyan yung media literacy as well as yung technology literacy. Okay, guys, hindi ko na siya i-explain. Just want you to read through this at alamin ninyo, tingnan ninyo kung alin-alin yung mga interconnectivity ng bawat groups of skills. Okay? Nandyan din yung life and career skills. Napaka-importante. We're able to discuss this as well last time. Dami, no? Going through this, parang ano-ano yung mga realizations ninyo? Okay, ano-ano yung mga realizations? Ako kasi I have so many realizations when I first started teaching this topic. Na hindi lang pala, hindi enough yung may alam ka. Kailangan pala, you need to continuously work on your knowledge. No, and then mastery of the basics. Hindi pwedeng papetiks-petiks tayo. Hindi pwedeng like kalmado or you're just taking your time, 'di ba? Hindi ganoon. We need to seize the moment and be fast about it. Now the big question here, upon seeing all those slides na yung content are all about skills and sub-skills, how do we integrate this into the 21st century teaching and learning process? Actually, guys, merong 5 pamamaraan, no? Ito yung mga critical systems that would ensure student mastery of the 21st century skills. Tatandaan nyo itong 5. First is the standards, 21st century standards. Pangalawa are the assessments. Third is curriculum and instruction. Fourth, professional development. And 5, learning environment. Ito yung support system ng ating framework kanina. Lahat ng to, yung 5 ng to, kailangan aligned sila at nagtutulungan in order for the kids, the learners to be, 21st century ready. Okay? That's according to Partnership for 21st Century Skills. Yung standards, kung titingnan mo, marami siyang points, but I just want to highlight, okay, you need to focus on the skill, content knowledge, tsaka expertise. Hindi pwede, hindi ka makakapagturo if wala kang kakayahan talaga. So, as a teacher, I need to focus on that. Diba? Kung kayo din, sa lugar ko bilang teacher, you will focus on this. Skills, content knowledge, and expertise. Okay? Pangalawa, there's a need for you to insert this across the curriculum. Gaya nga ng sinasabi natin, it's interdisciplinary. Kailangan kahit anong subject, kahit anong kurso, marunong kang mag-connect ng ganitong mga standards. Third, it's about understanding and not just merely surface knowledge. Okay? Deep understanding. Gaya nga ng sa test natin, di ba, sa quiz natin, it's not all about mastering all of the facts. It's all about understanding the facts. And in return, if naintindihan mo yung mga facts, you will be able to, adapt an action plan for you to move forward. Pang-apat, it's all about real world data, problem solving. Diba? Napaka-importante na marunong tayong mag-solve ng problem. Kasi yung problema kapag tinatakbuhan natin, lumalaki yan. Or minsan, hindi na siya, di ba, hahabulin at hahabulin ka. Okay? So we need tayo, if ilagay natin siya sa practical side, bilang mga estudyante, bilang mga guro, we need to have a set of skills just for problem solving. Tatandaan natin yan. Kasi yung problem solving, hindi lang naman yan nananatili sa ating classroom. But, yung solving problems is a daily occurrence for us. Okay, lastly, yun lang. Bigyan lang ng leeway yung mga bata. Where do they learn best? So that merong entry tayo for mastery. Okay? Nakakatulong yon the fact na mas engaged yung bata at mas active yung bata in terms of interacting with you. So doon, parang at the end of the day, malalaman mo talaga na there's a measure of mastery doon sa bata. Kasi when you give the assessment recorded a high score. So ibig sabihin, there's understanding there, there's a belief na yung interdisciplinary approach ay in-apply niya, mas nag-focus siya doon sa content knowledge, sa skill at saka sa expertise, at gumamit siya ng real world data. So tandaan lang natin yon. Second, assessment. Very important din. That's why we have the PISA. That's why we have standardized tests like NAT, National Achievement Test. Because assessments help us to diagnose, saan na ba tayo? Are we on the crossroads already or are we just traversing the main highway? Parang ganon. So, there should be a balance then, no, in terms of assessments. Hindi naman kasi at all times pen and paper, standard. Meron tayo pumupunta tayo sa idea ng anong tawag dito? Yung mga assessments na authentic, 'yon, no? From the standard to the authentic assessments. Okay? Kailangan din feedback, no? Immediate feedback. Huwag mo nang antayin na like next day mo pa bibigyan ng feedback. No, you give feedback as soon as you can. Okay? And then technology. Siyempre babalansehin mo din 'yan. Gaya ng sabi ko sa mga former students ko, it's not every day that you teach with technology, no? It's not every day that you will use that tool. It's not every day that you will, merong technology infusion doon sa lesson. No. Parati kong sinasabi, it's always on the decision of the teacher. Okay? Kung hindi mo niya naman kailangan, then definitely wag gawin, di ba? Hindi ko sinasabi na everyday integrate ka ng ICT sa lesson. No. Okay, that's a misconception. Ano pa ba? Portfolios, no? Authentic assessment yan. And syempre yung development ng rubrics on how to properly grade authentic assessments. Okay, when it comes to curriculum and instruction, alam na natin to. 'Di ba? We are most probably nasa problem-based learning pa rin, inquiry-based, and then outcomes-based din tayo. Okay? So, yung ibang points dito for curriculum and instruction, I was able to tell you this in the past sessions already. Okay, for the professional development, kailangan din to, right? Kasi yung professional development natin is geared towards improving the skill sets of our teachers on how to, optimize their teaching process. Okay? Ayan o. Seize opportunities for integrating 21st century skills, tools, and teaching strategies into their classrooms. Kasi binabalik lang din naman natin yung mga natutunan natin to our kids, to the learners. So why not, 'di ba? I-practice mo na ng todo 'yan inside your classroom and then try to gather data as much as possible. Kasi napaka-interesante ng mga ganitong mga approaches because of the novelty. So, hindi ka na mahihirapan talaga for action research. Okay? Second point, ayan, parati kong sinasabi, binabalanse yan. We are balancing direct instruction with, problem-based or project-based teaching methods. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko. I would just like to clear it out. Hindi araw-araw kailangan project-based ka or problem-based. But there are always days that you will need to have interactive discussion, lecture it, di ba, direct instruction. Umaabot tayo sa ganon. It's not every day. Di ba? It's not every day. Palaging tatandaan yan. Kasi yung iba, nami-misconceptualize nila, ay, that's why pagod siya parati kasi ganito, ganyan. No, it's not. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon kailangan mayroon kang EdTech integration. Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon na nagpa-project-based learning ka or PBL or project-oriented teaching methods yung ginagamit mo. Okay? Okay. Nandiyan din yung PLCs or professional learning communities for teachers as a part of the support no na binibigay natin sa mga teachers natin. Next, yun, yung 4.5, if you could still remember, I was trying to highlight that always. No, at tina-highlight nga na kailangan kilala natin yung mga estudyante natin in order for us to give the proper intervention or enrichment activity for them. Next, nakakatulong to mag-develop ng skills ng mga teachers. So kayo, guys, when you reach the time that you will become a public school teacher or private school teacher at that, please always cherish the time you have during your PD sessions or professional development sessions. Napaka-importante nun. Why? Because dyan mo nalilearn yung mga bagay na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon doon. Doon mo natututunan. So, gaya ng communication, di ba? Collaboration. So, you do not hate it, di ba? You have to embrace it kasi diyan tayo humuhugot ng lakas, humuhugot ng ng ating ammunition para gamitin sa pang-araw-araw nating giyera sa kamangmangan. Okay? Nandiyan din yung continuous evaluation, okay, knowledge sharing, ayan. And then scalable or sustainable model of professional development. Kailangan patuloy yung professional development. Ngayon sa public school, we have the SLAC or yung tinatawag nating School Learning Action Cells. SLAC. Doon kami nagtitipon-tipon, we learn from each other, we do scholarly works, no, academic works during that time. So, maganda lang because we are collaborating with each other. Okay? Yung mga co-teachers. For the learning environments, again, I cannot emphasize it any further na kailangan merong mga physical environments na may support na na-extend doon sa mga teachers at students. Okay? Most especially sa outcomes na gusto nilang marating. Now, yung mga learning environments dapat it is acting accordingly towards the support that they should give to the professional learning communities. Okay? Like for example, collaboration projects or sharing of best practices. Yan, importante yan. Third point, parati nating i-connect to sa real world setting. Sa konteksto ng totoong buhay. so that the kids would anticipate, ganito na lang yung gagawin ko. Or ganito pala yung real world, no? So, ito yung gagawin ko para mas maging madali, di ba? Equitable access, problema pa din natin yan hanggang ngayon. Di ba? Next, architectural interior designs. Di ba? I think we need to have a new way of constructing our buildings. No? Kailangan yung maging climate resilient talaga, hindi madaling masira, and at the same time, kailangan yung mismong structure, okay? Yung mismong structure ng classroom, kailangan siyang naka-structure ng maayos. Okay? And also, again, yung learning environments natin dapat connected siya, no? Both literally and figuratively to the global stage, no? Sa global community. Okay? So for SI, it's very salient na nandun yun. It's very important. Pinapractice nyo na yan ngayon. And I'm very happy for that kasi nabibigyan ng exposure yung SI. And then yung mga Japanese counterparts na learners din nagkakaroon ng, sense of fulfillment kasi nakikita nila yung academic culture kung saan nanggagaling yung mga SI students natin. Now, what are the implications to educators? Okay? Paano ito nakakaapekto sa mga educators natin? Tingnan nyo. First, successfully complementing technologies to content and pedagogy and developing the ability to creatively use technologies to meet specific learning needs. Mas nagiging ready yung mga teachers in meaningful integration, no? Meaningful integration of technologies sa pagtuturo at pag-aaral. Pangalawa, there's an alignment ng instruction with the standards. Very important din yun because the standards are the things that are being followed with the industries. So kung substandard yung mga graduates natin, so probably hindi sila makakakuha ng high-paying job or good-paying jobs, di ba? Nagkakaroon ng job mismatch pag ganun. Third, we need to balance direct instruction with project-oriented teaching methods. Gaya ng sabi ko, hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon, kailangan mo mag-project-oriented teaching method. Diba? Hindi sa lahat ng pagkakataon. So, you need to plan it out, diba? Para makuha mo yung optimal results. Hindi yan minamadali, hindi yan inaaraw-araw. Okay? Pang-apat, as educators, we also need to apply child and adolescent development knowledge to educator preparation and education policy. That's why meron kayong the child and the adolescent na subject. I don't know. It's connected with psychology, with child psychology. Kailangan din yun. You need to know the developmental factors that affect the kids para alam mo kung anong klaseng guidance yung ibibigay mo sa mga bata. Panglima, using a range of assessment strategies to evaluate student performance and differentiate instruction. I cannot highlight it further yung essentiality of being an individual na alam mo yung klase ng assessment na ibibigay mo. Alam mo how to construct it, alam mo how to deliver it. Diba? So, kailangan tingnan natin yan. Next, participating actively in learning communities, tapping the expertise within a school or school district through coaching, mentoring, knowledge sharing, team teaching. Yes naman. Ngayon, ginagawa na ito. No, we have learning communities online, most especially sa EdTech part, meron tayo marami na. And even here in Negros, meron na tayong mga ganong mga learning communities. So, yung pinaka-basic dito, syempre, yung learning community ninyo sa loob ng school mismo. Yung within your circles ng colleagues mo as teachers. So, parate, kailangan pinapractice natin na mayroong mga coaching or mentoring sessions At usually nangyayari din naman yon. There's knowledge sharing during learning action cells and as well as team teaching para yung mga new to the service ay ma-educate no further ng mga veteran teachers on how to carry out lessons effectively. Okay, educators acting as mentors and peer coaches. Nangyayari yan when you ano tawag dito, when you reach your 4th year internship, magkakaroon kayo ng ganyan. Okay? Lastly, using a range of strategies. Mas na-open up yung brain, yung pag-iisip ng mga teachers because of the fact that alam na natin what kind of strategies will we use at if kailangan natin siyang i-adjust midway sa lesson, kaya natin siyang gawin. Okay? So that, what's the goal? Ano bang goal ng adaptation na yan? Siyempre, to reach the kids. To help support the kids. Okay? Most especially in terms of differentiation. 9, pursuing continuous learning opportunities. As teachers, bawal tayong tatamad-tamad. Once gumraduate, once meron ng lisensya, once nasa public school na, continuously develop yourself. Kasi hindi mo naman yan ginagawa para sa iba. Gagawin mo yan dahil para sa sarili mo at para sa mga learners mo. Next, establishing a conducive learning environment where learners can freely express themselves. Yung learning environment, hindi lang yan sa physical. Okay? Yan ay, what you call this? Yan ay nakaangkla din sa idea ng ano ba? Freedom of expression. Yun. Hindi lang siya physical eh. It's also freedom of expression, exploration of your talents, potentials, and capabilities. So, kailangan ma-declare mo yan sa mga bata na safe place to, no? Hindi kayo kakantsawan, hindi kayo ibubully if ganyan yung skill na alam mong feeling mo na master ka, di ba? So, naka-cut off natin yung bullying incidents and at the same time, mas napapaintindi natin sa mga bata na meron palang ganong mga spaces that exist within our homes and within our schools and communities. Okay, points to consider na lamang po. Implications ito for pre-service teacher preparation. So guys, makinig. First here, there is a need to understand the key elements of optimum curricula that will help pre-service teachers develop the dispositions, habits of mind, and confidence to enable students to develop 21st century skills in a range of core academic subject areas. Ibig sabihin nito, sa pinaka-simple nung pag-explicar, kailangan yung mga schools should adhere to the standards of B.Ed course, no? Kailangan filtered siguro if I may give that term. Ano pa ba? Kailangan nakaangkla siya sa present time yung curriculum so that in the process the institution in question will be able to produce excellent and future-ready graduates. Next, yung ACTI in 2010 asserts that the 21st century approach to curriculum is about more than just adding an extra course or extra class time to curriculum. So, pre-service teachers benefit from the ability to fully explore and understand how to develop and use curriculum for deep understanding and mastery of the academic subject knowledge and 21st century skills. Yes naman, tama nga naman. Diba? Let us not clutter our class or teachers programs. Mas i-focus natin siya sa mga activities na magbibigay ng added value doon sa mga bata. Okay? Okay, yan. As a starting point down, a teacher education program can be aligned with student and teacher standards in ways that blend thinking and innovation skills, ICT literacy, and so on and so forth. Yes naman, kailangan naka-align yun. And I believe yung curriculum natin ngayon with CHED, naka-align doon sa mga literacies as well as the call of the times. Okay? According to McTighe and Wiggins in in 2005, ayan, and ACTI in 2010. 21st century skills approach to curriculum is designed to understanding. Kailangan, hindi lang rote memorization parati yung pinag-uusapan natin. Dapat, yung approach sa curriculum is towards understanding. Okay? Tandaan natin yan. Now, your curriculum, next point, will be most beneficial to pre-service teachers if it is designed to produce deep understanding and authentic application of 21st century skills in all subject areas. Yes naman, the curriculum should or can vouch for that naman. Kasi naka-ready na yung curriculum na yan and alam na naman din ng mga instructors yung patutunguhan ng programa. So definitely, kailangan prepared yung pre-service teachers natin. Okay? Yan. Okay, punta tayo sa instructional models. Okay, malapit na tayong matapos. An important component of any teacher preparation program, ACTI in 2010 pointed out that the integration of innovative and research-proven teaching strategies, modern learning technologies, and real-world resources and contexts are all imperative in una, integrating teach for understanding principles. Okay? Kapag kasi naiintindihan ng bata yung binabasa niya, doon pumapasok yung critical thinking and problem solving ng bata. Diba? Tingnan mo. For example, may bata ka, natudlo ka math. Kaya since ang pagtudlo sang math, more on content lang siya, no? Malipatan lang niya ka bata. But, if you teach math in a way that it is teaching for understanding, so definitely, maintindihan niya nga ay ang inigali nga number, amo sini ang paggamit sa iya. Okay? Next, creating rich practice teaching experiences. Yes, I believe SI has a strong culture of practice teaching. Ano tawag dito? Deployment. So hopefully, during your time, guys, you will be able to, ano tawag dito? You'll be able to, what's this? Enrich yourself with the teaching, with the experiences that you will be getting from your practice teaching. Next, creating dynamic learning communities and peer mentoring networks. Yes. Culture of giving back. No, we need to connect with people, talk to them, ask them what they need, and then offer our services. Minsan libre yan, minsan hindi libre, merong bayad. But again, yung sa peer mentoring networks, it should be automatic for all teachers. And then, dynamic learning communities then. Okay? Kailangan na yung support system is there. Okay? Next, examining the role of content, pedagogy, and technologies in developing higher order thinking skills. Naman, kailangan yan. Lahat ng yan are all ingredients of developing higher order thinking skills. Kapag wala kang effective na magandang content, if hindi ka effective sa pedagogy or nagsusunga-sunga tayo sa paggamit ng technologies natin, so definitely it will jeopardize your ability to develop higher order thinking skills among your kids. Okay, I'll jump right in. Kasi mahaba. Okay. For the learning environments, again, kailangan natin ng reform. Kailangan ng reform. During the time of the previous DepEd Secretary, there are reforms instituted, but I don't know if hanggang kailan. But nevertheless, there's reform. Okay. For learning environments, we should have a 21st century vision for learning environments in the program and the university. Pangalawa, there is physical infrastructure support for 21st century knowledge and skills. Third, practicing flexibility in time for project-based work. and competency-based assessment. Pang-apat, technical infrastructure, yung mga nilalagay natin sa schools natin ng mga Wi-Fi routers, digital printers, all of those, kailangan palaging nakakabit yan sa goal of helping the kids. Fifth, strengthen networking engagement in the learning environment. I cannot say this for everybody, but kung ako yung pinapadala sa mga seminars, I always make it a point to know many people. Kasi yung mga taong to can really help you soon, di ba? Partnerships, kailangan din yan. Why? Because if wala yan, then definitely lahat ng pinagplanuhan nyo will go crashing down. Okay? We should direct towards sustainability parate and development. Okay? It should foster strong collaboration. No? Kailan ka pa nag-partnerships if, di ba, parang meron kang hot blood doon sa kapares mo, di ba? So, hindi yun maganda. When it comes to the context of education, no? In the context of preparations for partnerships in education. Yan, continuous improvement. Okay? It represents willingness to commit to revisiting the process over time. So, we should embody that kind of mindset as well. All right? We should embody that kind of mindset. Yung ACTI in 2010, any implementation effort should include continuous improvement steps to it. And number one, clearly identify measurable goals. Pangalawa, track progress regularly against these goals. Third, communicate progress to all stakeholders. And lastly, pang-apat, engage all participants in refining and improving success over time. Okay, if titingnan natin to guys, continuous improvement always rests with a clear goal. Nagmamanifest yan. If meron kayong clear goal, you know what you are doing, you are transparent, and you are engaging. Okay? So when it comes to improvement, parating ganun yung perfect formula. So hindi yan madali. No, it's very difficult. Yes, okay lang yan, no? You can create a clearly identifiable goal, measurable goal, pero yung tracking ng progress, yun yung parang, 'di ba, kakapoy. Communication towards stakeholders, kapoy-kapoy man na siya. And engaging participants, very kapoy-kapoy. Pero at the end of the day, you should always think that as teachers, we should lead the learners. We should lead together with your principal in terms of reaching continuous improvements. Yes, budlay siya kasi process over time eh. Improvements over time na siya. So, hindi siya hilog-lahog na like in just a matter of 2 days, 3 days, there's improvement nga makita. No. Okay? Okay, let's synthesize. Okay? Let's try to generalize the thoughts. So basahin ko lang yung first point. The term 21st century skills refers to a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and character traits that are critically important in today's world, particularly in collegiate programs and contemporary careers and workplaces. The Partnership for 21st Century Skills encompasses a wide range body of knowledge and skills that are interconnected with applied skills, cross-curricular skills, cross-disciplinary skills, interdisciplinary skills, transferable skills, transversal skills, non-cognitive skills, and soft skills. To succeed in life and in their future careers, students must hone and empower themselves with learning and innovation skills, information, media, and technological skills, life and career skills, and social and cross-cultural skills. The integration of 21st century skills must be continuously practiced along standards and assessments, curriculum and instruction, professional development, and learning environments. So again, tinitingnan natin dito yung sustainability, yung continuation. Okay? yung continuity ng mga magagandang ginagawa natin sa field. And again, kailangan these are all aligned. Considering that teachers are the greatest mobilizers of 21st century education, therefore, pre-service teachers must be rigidly trained on these skills to prepare them for future professional career roles. That's why, guys, we are very rigid in terms of training you. So, kailangan, do not hate the teacher. Diba? Yun lang yung pwede kong masabi. Do not hate the teacher and do not hate the course. Diba? Kailangan kasi merong rigidity merong rigor in terms of training you. That's why kami as your instructors always telling you, we are always telling you to brace yourselves, to prepare yourselves, to learn as much as you can sa mga interactive discussions natin and other activities na ginagawa ninyo within your classrooms. Kasi lahat ng yan will bear fruit once you reach 4th year and once you reach yung graduation, once you get your license, and once you reach the field. Doon mo mami-measure, ay, tama pala yung sinabi ng mga teachers namin noon. Ay, tama pala yung mga advices na binibigay sa amin. It will all make sense, It will all make sense later. All right? So I think that's the last part of our session for this night. And I want to say thank you for everybody for accessing this video. So please do not forget to read through the material that I provided in you. It's in the Google Classroom, so you just need to download it and read through some of the sections that I have indicated na babasahin lang. You don't need to memorize everything. It's always, application. It's always about understanding the concept. Kasi if we tend to be more bookish, diba? So mahirapan ka talaga. Okay? So with that, thank you very much everyone. That has been the 21st century skill categories. And I'll see you on the next one.